Professor, do you have time to chat?
I always have time for my students. How may I help you?
I wondered if I might ask how long you've been teaching at Hogwarts.
Well, it's been what now? 7 swift years. Time does fly because we have fun. Essential in my opinion. An eager, positive, and confident mind is the most open to knowledge, I find.
Some of the professors may not agree with your approach.
Well, each of us has our own style, I suppose. Some in the teaching field believe that hard work and dedication are the only keys to success. But they forget what drives those things. If one cannot fathom why some would expend energy on gobstones, then one is blind to the enormous power of play.
And that's why you teach the way you do?
Precisely. I strive to be the sort of professor that I would have enjoyed in school. My experience was less cheerful.
Perhaps you wouldn't be who you are without that experience.
Had I received a more traditional education, well, enough about my student days. You are here now, and it would be a shame if you didn't enjoy it.
I'll do my best, Professor. Thank you for the advice.
You are most welcome. Try to have a bit of fun today. Huh?
Makes no sense to me why first-years don't study Abyssinian shrivel figs. Why should they escape the torment? I almost had a treasure once, from my grandmother.
Oh, what was it?
An enchanted hourglass. It would flow quicker if you were in a boring class, so the teacher would think it was later. We've done it in half the time. It would have been brilliant for potions.
And what happened with the hourglass? Why wasn't it yours in the end?
Ugh, my grandmother changed her mind. I probably shouldn't have mentioned about using it in potions.
Well, even if you had it, half the school would have been after it. You'd have had to have a Gryffindor guard it.
Oh, I thought about it. I looked into us getting one, but apparently they can eat your leg off, so it wasn't ideal.
No, I suppose not. Although, if we're talking about Sharp's class...
They say herbology is the study of magical and mundane plants.
Why won't she just let us use gillyweed? What's the point of even learning about herbology if we can't get ourselves into some trouble with gillyweed? If I haven't personally met a mermaid by the end of term, I can tell you I shan't be happy.
Chinese chomping cabbages terrify me. Something about a leafy vegetable with teeth seems extremely unnatural.
Going to harvest some knotgrass from the greenhouses today. Did you know that it's used in Polyjuice potion? I think it has something to do with being tied to another person.
Don't get me started on how horrifying venomous tentacular are. Why we're forced to engage with them in class instead of just reading about them is beyond me.
It's a relief to finally have an answer as to why that portrait was empty.
There's always someone snoring in our dorm. One of the girls, too. And she talks in her sleep. Oh dear, I shall get in trouble for this.
Is everything all right?
Oh, hello. Thank you for asking. I'm Cressida, by the way, and I'm afraid everything's not all right. I may be in a spot of trouble with the librarian. You see, I'm fond of creating my own charms. Thought I'd perfected my light as a feather charm to use on my library books. My arms get so tired carrying them around all day. But I must have confused the Latin word for feather with bird in my incantation, because when I opened my bag just now in the library, they literally took flight.
That sounds brilliant, actually.
Thank you. Somehow I don't think the librarian will see it that way. I collect the books and remove the charm myself, except this isn't the first time one of my charms has threatened the peace of the library. Our meet told Madame Scribner they were my books flying around, so she said that if I caused her any more trouble, she'd write to my parents. Perhaps you could get them for me. There are only 5. She won't be suspicious of a new student looking around.
Why did Amit tell Madame Scribner that they were your books?
Oh, to be perfectly honest, I don't think he meant any harm. I think he was impressed, bragging on my behalf. Amit spends a lot of time gazing at the stars, but he knows a good charm when he sees one.
I suppose I could help if I have the time.
Oh, I'd very much appreciate it. One of the books is my diary. I'd rather it not fall into the wrong hands. If you could collect them and bring them to me, I can remove the charm.
I'm going to have to use Accio to get to those books. Got it. Only 4 more to go.
Reading can be as magical as any spell. Why can't students see that?
Lumos.
Swear we'd be more uplifted in potions.
Can't somebody let me copy their potions homework? I'm at least moderately good at charms, and I promise I'll let you copy mine.
Do you find it hard to get the right consistency in a confusing concoction? I can never get mine to thicken.
I don't know why Sharp's always referring to standard ingredients. Nothing is standard. Who's walking around with mistletoe berries?
Have you ever noticed in potions that the girl who sits in the corner almost always nearly melts her cauldron? I find it quite disconcerting, and Sharp doesn't even raise an eyebrow. Yet I drop 1 nettle too many and I get the stare of the basilisk.
That's the last book. Now to take them back to Cressida. Revelio. Hello, Cressida. I collected your books, including your diary.
Oh, what a relief. Thank you. I'll happily take the heavy lot off your hands now.
Here you are.
Well, lesson learned. I certainly won't be practicing any charms in the library again anytime soon. Now, to work out where I went wrong. Perhaps I should start brushing up on my Latin. Thank goodness some people are trustworthy. Certainly wouldn't want anyone but me reading my diary. Slytherins are lucky they get to sleep next to the lake. Water is so soothing.
I wish they'd allow us our pets from home. We have a crop called Mange.
I do wish I had a bigger trunk, though.
We stayed up almost the entire night the other week talking about schoolwork.
Sent me a howler after I got a paw on my transfiguration owl. Without a doubt, one of the most embarrassing
Lumos.
of my life.
This must be my house chest. I just need to insert the token. Seems I'll need to find more house tokens if I'm to open this. Quite a few by the look of it.
Couldn't agree more.
Handy resource indeed, your field guide. I'm most pleased to be included.
An owl of my own. I can't imagine receiving a howler, especially in front of the whole school during a feast. My mother always responds to my owls very swiftly. My family's owl is getting too old. Half of the letters end up in the local pond. I thought potions required precision, but transfiguration makes potions seem easy.